This is a lovely way to use the humble cauliflower. It's a North Indian dish called Gobi Musallam, and it really shows you how versatile cauliflower can be. What I'm going to do is use a whole cauliflower and I'm going to blanch it. Just make sure that you take off all the foliage, all the green, and then just cut the stem just so that you've got a slightly shorter stump. And then what we're going to do is put it into some boiling water and add a few herbs into there. I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of turmeric. So just sprinkle that in and put a little touch more. And then half to 1 teaspoon of salt. So just pop that in. Make sure the cauliflower stays submerged throughout the whole cooking process. So I've left this in there for 5 minutes on one side, and then I sort of turned it over and left it for another 5 minutes. So I'm going to take that out and just leave it on some kitchen roll just to drain off all of that excess liquid. And you can just pop that to one side while you clear up a little bit, and then we'll start to get ready and make the sauce, which is going to be a lovely creamy base. So I started to saute my onions and garlic in some ghee. If you don't want to use ghee, you can use just some normal vegetable oil instead. But because it's nice and decadent, I like to use ghee for this dish. So the onions and the garlic I chopped up fairly roughly, and I like to use red onion for this dish. And they've been sauteing for about 5 or 6 minutes. And just as they start to go brown, we're going to add a couple of roughly chopped tomatoes. So those go straight in. I'm going to just increase the temperature a little bit because you've cooled it right down by adding those tomatoes in there. So I'm going to increase that heat, and then I'm going to add some chilli. Now I've got 2 chilies in here, but if you don't like it that hot, just reduce the amount of chilli you're putting in there. And I've just chopped that up so it's fairly small. Just give that a stir through. And then I've just julienned, if you like, but just cut some ginger into strips. And I'm just going to pop that in as well. What we're looking for is a really nice, creamy sort of sauce. So we want all the tomatoes, the onions, the garlic, the ginger, all of the bits that we've got in here to just come together. So once all of those ingredients are in there, you just need to stir them through. And what we're looking for is the tomatoes to start breaking down and the whole sauce to come together. So that'll take a few minutes. Whilst that's doing what it needs to do, I'm just going to use some of the spice. We'll get the spices ready. I'm going to use a teaspoon of coriander seeds, and they give a really lovely zingy lift to the dish. I'm going to bash those up. Don't worry about getting a really fine powder or anything like that. We just want to crush them. We want for them to release their natural oils, which I can already smell. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of chili powder. So this is quite a mild chili powder. This is called Kashmiri chili powder. And it's really lovely because it's got a beautiful colour. It gives that lovely orangey colour. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to put in some fenugreek leaves. So these are dried fenugreek leaves. I'm just going to stir all that in so you get all the spices entwining with all of the ingredients that we've got in that sauce, just to make that lovely thick masala. So the masala's been cooking for about 6 or 7 minutes. All the tomatoes have broken down, and it's really important that you have a little taste. Make sure that seasoning's right. Ooh, you'll get a hit of the chili as well, but all of that will dampen down once we add the final few ingredients. What I have done is added a splash of water in there as well, just to help bring everything together. But that's the consistency you're looking for, quite thick, quite robust if you like, but everything's broken down. So into that, I'm going to put a teaspoon of garam masala, a nice heaped teaspoon. Normally I would put this in at the end of the dish, but because of the way this dish cooks, it's best to put it in now. So just again, stir that all the way through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off, and then we're going to add our cashew nuts, which are probably a key part of this dish. And what I've done is I've soaked the cashew nuts in some water. I've got about 3 tablespoons worth, and they've been soaking in the water for about 2 hours. And what you'll see happens is that they get really soft. It's almost like rubber. They just turn really rubbery, really soft and gentle. So I'm going to pop those in. I'm also going to add in a little bit of the water that they've been soaking in. And what the cashew nuts do is give this masala a really creamy, really decadent, really gentle flavour. Give that all a stir through and just have your hand blender ready, because that's what you're going to use just to put the sauce through, put the masala through, so it's nice and fine. Once the masala's cooked, you just need to get a hand blender and just blitz it all up so that all of the flavours that are in there all break down and all the cashew nuts sort of melt into that sauce. And you're looking for almost like this thick, soup-like consistency. Have a little taste. If you need to adjust the seasoning, then you can do. For the next part, what you need is a dish that you can put the whole of the cauliflower in, and something that will fit into your oven. So I'm using the base of my tagine pot here. I'm just going to bring that up to temperature. And again, I'm going to use about a tablespoon of ghee for this. If you've used oil, then by all means just use oil. But I'm just going to toast off some cumin seeds. As soon as I get the aromatics coming from them, I'm going to turn that off. And I've got my cauliflower just sitting here and it's been draining away. So I'm going to pop that straight in. Make sure your oven's heated to 180 degrees and then just get ready to pour your lovely sauce all over that beautiful yellow cauliflower. So make sure it's all covered with that beautiful, beautiful sauce. And once you're happy, that's going to go into the oven and we're going to roast the whole thing for about 40 to 45 minutes. It may need just a little bit longer, but you'll know it's done when it's all lovely and brown all over. So you just want to touch it and you can see it's dry to the touch, which means that it's all soaked in all of those lovely flavours. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of fresh coriander just to finish it off. And this is a really nice dish. You can just put it straight onto your dining table, or you can slice it up. This makes a great centerpiece whether you're vegetarian or not, and I'm just going to have a little bit now. This dish tastes amazing with fresh naan and spicy tandoori chicken. Click to subscribe to my channel for even more delicious recipes.